corn. You can call me Malachi, tuned in every day. I don't need no alibi. Cap, you ain't gotta ask that. Since he started popping stocks, clocking like NASDAQ. One of the dopest interviews, A+. So many different time frames he can take us. No mistaking, every song quaking. He slaughter like a pig house. We talking long bacon. Children of the corn. You can call me Malachi, tuned in every day. I don't need no alibi. He's the man. He's the man. We talk with OC. He's the man. He's the man. We talk with OC. He's the man. He's the man. We talk with OC. He's the man. He's the man. We talk with OC.
We talking with OC. He's the man. I love my cuddy. Shout out to Coolio the Underdog for coming through with that banger, that intro banger. He came through with a couple of them. I got like 4 of them from him. I think if it wasn't for him on the intro side, I probably would be weak on that. But that's exceptional. Today I'm talking with OC, the show host OC. I got a couple of things I wanted to talk about, put straight out there in the internet world, and I also let my peoples know that I just will never forget certain things, or I feel real bad for not being able to go to my cousin's homegoing service, but I pay homage because I got this D on my hat. That doesn't stand for Detroit Tigers. It stands for Deion Daniels, Freaky D. R.I.P. To my cousin. He was a very respectful dude. He always taught me some good lessons coming up in life, and I never forget that. And I hold a big place in my heart for my cousin, like my brother, because we grew up like that. That's how we grew up. So this hat that I'm wearing is for you, brother. It's for you, Deion Daniels, Freaky D, romp specialist, romp star. You know what I'm saying? If you know, you know. So moving on, that's all that's been in my heart ever since everything had happened, and I just couldn't get it out until today. I've been wearing this hat for a minute, but it's just something that I had to say, had to get off my chest. I love everybody on my whole family, but I had some health issues that I was dealing with that wouldn't allow me to get to the funeral. So, and my heart goes out to his mom, his family, his sisters, his brother's sister, his whole family, the whole family. And hopefully we can cling on to some of these great memories that we have. I had a chance to interview him on my show a while back. He was one of the first people to let me talk to him on Talking with OC. So that's how that went. I'm back talking with OC. I'm back. I'm just doing a pop-up tonight. This is going to be on the saved on Facebook. So I'm just doing a pop-up tonight, trying to get some things out into the air. Some current events. Before we get to the current events, I'm going to go to the other day. I was having lunch with my dad, and we were talking about how some kids do the back talking, some kids do the sneaking out, some kids do a lot of different things that they are not supposed to do when they're kids. And we got on the topic of him and I talking about, and my sister Shalina was there too, talking about why was it that I didn't do some of the things that a lot of kids was doing when I was coming up. Why wasn't I that rebellious and all of that type of stuff. And I came to one conclusion. It was because my mind was not on that. My mind was on other things. My mind was on being in the house at a certain time. My mind was on honoring my parents instead of dishonoring my parents. My mind was on where I should be, where I should be, and when I should be there. That's what my mind was on. I didn't have a mindset of where I could be out at all hours of the night doing whatever. I didn't have that mindset, and I'm not saying that mindset is not good, but as kids, we are exposed to a lot of different things, and sometimes we can be exposed to things too early. I would say too late sometimes, but too early if we're exposed to certain things and certain feelings in life. We get to making decisions off of that based upon what's going on in the home and all of that type of stuff. And my dad made a big point to where when I was growing up, and this is real stuff. When I was growing up, he was a different way. He was, and I noticed this. He was a different type of fella when I was growing up. When I was growing up, he was all over everything that I was doing. Now that I'm an adult, it's only an advice thing. My dad is like my friend slash dad right now. When I was coming up, he was just dad. It wasn't no two ways about it. But now it's like we get into these different talks, and I see why he had to do some of the things that he had to do as an adult, bringing me and my sisters along, raising us, him and my mother raising us, and I see why some of the decisions was made. So, with that being said, that's how we got down. My father and my mother always was a united front, and that's a lot of stuff that a lot of kids don't have today. They don't got that united front. That united front is, did you talk to your mother? We asked my dad something. Can we do something? Did you talk to your mother? What did your mother say? If I go to my mother and ask her, she say, "What did your father say?" You know what I'm saying? They got that united front, that bond that can't be broken. We can't play the two against each other because they're gonna push us to one another, so we can really get to the bottom of what we doing. And a lot of kids today don't have it. They don't have that united front for whatever it is from the mother and the father. And the single parent homes and the co-parenting homes and all of that type of stuff. You still got to find a way to have that united front for your kids. You got to have that. That's how you stay out of the child support system. That's how you all of that. You have to understand that it's bigger than you. The situation is bigger than you. We are trying to not only we're trying to raise this kid to be a good person. That's what we're trying to do. So, and we're trying to raise this kid to be able to be sufficient on their own. You know what I'm saying? And that's that to be responsible, to be whatever they need to be. That's good. We trying to raise them to be that. And that's I know that all to be true and all to be well. You have to get on your kids. From day one, you have to get on them and mold their minds you have to mold their minds to that thought process of I need to be doing what I'm supposed to be doing when I'm supposed to be doing it, and that's the mind frame that they need to be in. If you need to put them in sports, if you need to put them in extracurricular activities, you have to be vigilant in that and get that done. You gotta get that done. You gotta make sure that happens. Because my daughter, when she was small, she got into cheering. She got into a lot of different things through school and in high school because I felt it was necessary. I and her mom thought it was necessary because she got a chance to have her mind occupied. She got a chance to do different things with herself, earn different accolades at the school, doing different things to better herself better herself on a lot of different levels. Like I'm gonna talk about one of the levels. Me and my daughter was having a conversation the other day about work and being on time to work and all of that type of stuff. Of course, she doesn't have a problem with that. She doesn't have a problem with showing up to work. She doesn't have a problem with going to work. That's because of the upbringing. You know what I'm saying? I didn't preach you have to be on time yet, but what we did was her mom and I, what we did was we made it a point for her never to be late to anything. We made it a point for her to be on time. We made it a point for her to go every day, to show up every day. She always got good attendance awards in school and all of that type of stuff, and how important it is for you to show up. And on her sports teams, when her mother was her coach or whoever the coach was, she showed up. She showed up and she showed out. She showed up every day and practiced hard and was a great teammate. So all of those things come back to you in your life, and they come out in the things that you do. Regardless of what your background is, you could have went to prison for a number of years and you got out or whatnot. In your profession, what you like doing and who you are, those things that you learn when you those things that you learn when you're coming up, those tools that you put in that proverbial toolbox, they come out and they help you become who you gonna become and continue the path that you are on. That's what that is. That's what that is. That's what that is. And so with that being said, when we are parents, we have to realize what age are our kids and how if we get on this early, if we get on this discipline early, if we get on this parenting early, it's a lot of things that we are not going to have to deal with when they become 14, 15, 13, 16. It's a lot of stuff we're not going to have to deal with. We're not going to have to deal with because we already dealt with those things. We already, their mind is so far away from being disrespectful. Their mind is so far away from doing things that's going to damage not only your name but their name. You know, they believe in them. So they believe in themselves. So that's the stuff that you put in them early. That's the stuff that you put in them early. So that was the parenting tip. Get on them early and get on them often. And I want to share this too. There's this guy that got this guy. He got in trouble. He got sentenced to 30 years in jail because he gave his kid the keys to his car to drive. And what happened was he gave the kid. He probably didn't give the keys, but the kid took the keys, and he knew the kid had the keys to drive the car so him and his friends can go somewhere or whatnot. And long story short, the kid got into a car accident and killed 3 kids and a woman, a grandma. They had 3 kids and a woman. He killed those kids and killed those kids. The kids died in the accident, and the other woman died in the accident too. So with that being said, they charged the dad with some charges too. They charged him with manslaughter. They charged the dad, and he wasn't even driving the car. But the simple fact that he gave he let that kid get them keys, and without a license, without nothing, and drive that car. The kid only got 5 years in jail, but the dad got 34 years in jail. So they are not only coming after your kid for making mistakes, they're coming after the parent as well for making those mistakes as well, because you have to be accountable for your kid's actions. So it behooves everybody to be on the same page. It behooves everybody for the parent to have some type of establish their authority early. That's what it behooves the parent to do. Establish your dominance. Establish your power early, because you can't let your kids run. But there's no way my kid would have grabbed my keys and without no license and drove my car. There's no way that's going to happen, because we're going to understand that we don't mess with things that aren't that doesn't belong to us. We're not going to do that. We're not going to mess with things that don't belong to us, and the ramifications of what can happen if something happens, like an accident or something like that, and you don't have no license and all of that. I'm not ready to take responsibility for all of that. So I'll get on the other side of that. I'll make sure that she doesn't have to experience that, and I'll make sure that I don't have to experience that. I'm not going to jail for somebody else's mishaps. I'm not doing that. I don't care if you're my kid. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to jail for you. I'm not doing that. So in other words, if we say no and we don't let that stuff happen, then we don't have to worry about all of that type of stuff. So that's why I say you got to get on your kids early and get on them often. Get on them early, be on them early, and be on them often, because it pays off when they become teenagers. It pays off. It's a lot of stuff that you, as a parent, is not gonna have to deal with. Not gonna have to deal with. I rarely had to go to the school to deal with a problem that my kid was having at school. I rarely had to come off the job because everybody in the unit knew their role, knew what they had to do throughout the day, throughout the month, throughout the weeks. They knew what their role was, and so they played their role to the T. Now you always have some exceptions to the rule, but even with those exceptions, you can fall back on what it is that you taught this kid. How did you what did you teach this kid, and all of that type of stuff. How did you act with this kid, and all of that type of stuff. And sometimes you get the kid that have emotional and mental problems, and they just want to do it their way. And so sometimes you got to let go at that point. But for the most part, what I know to be true is if you get on them early, you pay your bills early, you ain't got to worry about the back end. You ain't got to worry about the VIG on the back end. You ain't got to worry about them cussing you out or nothing like that. So yeah, that's the parenting tip. I'm gonna move on over to some current events, some things that I liked on YouTube. I seen on YouTube my partner Doobie, aka Sugar Wolf Pimp, another interview that he did with this other guy. I forget the name of the show, but the interview was spectacular. This guy knows how to answer questions. He knows how to because the questions that they were asking were those that he either was there for or he wasn't. So he knows what to say as far as no, I don't, and he's honest too. I like an honest interview. I like an honest interview. I like somebody that if I can't answer that question, I wasn't there. I can't answer that question. I like that. But that whole interview was great. If you listen to the interview, if you go on the YouTube and you look it up, and you look it up, I think it'll come up. And if you listen to the interview, but the interview is about 2 hours long, and it don't seem like it, but it is. It's a lot of information about how we grew up, how the crest side of Vallejo, how it used to be, the village we had, you know what I'm saying, and all of that type of stuff. So that was very, 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 very nice to hear. And I learned some things from this interview. Every time he does an interview, I learn some stuff from the interview, and that was a good interview, great interview. Shout out to Doobie, aka Sugar Wolf Pimp. I like that interview. The interview was great. In the downside of things, they came across my screen was that I didn't just when I heard it, I just didn't jump right in and give my opinion. E40 was at a concert and he was getting some flowers, which he so deserved in this game. E40, Earl Stevens, he deserves a lot of flowers for the things that he's done for the culture, for the city of Lil, everything like that. And it was some type of confusion about that July 5th being they was given saying it was the E40 day, and knowing well, I think they probably knew at the time, but knowing that that's a Mac Dre Dre Day, they've been celebrating that for 20 years, and so. But my first thinking was, you could celebrate two people on the same day. You could celebrate two people on the same day, but I heard how animated or no how personal a lot of people took it. Little Bruce took it real personal. That was the first video I seen. That was the first video I seen, and I was thrown back, and I didn't say nothing because I didn't want to jump in and just be one of those. I appreciate the other dude Matt coming through, who I think gave the award to E40 and clearing the things up. And they still say you got other people out there saying that he backtracked, but I mean sometimes people make mistakes. You know, we got to put it out there. Sometimes people make mistakes, and we as people, we got to give grace. You know what I'm saying? Give them. Although I like how people took it personal and expressed their feelings about it. But it's a way that we could come to the table. Everybody can come to the table and hammer things out. I appreciated seeing the retraction. I appreciate seeing and hearing both sides. And so my thing is, you could celebrate hella people on one day. You can celebrate hella people on one day. But my thing is, since a lot of people feel so strongly about Mac Dre Day, which been celebrated for over 20 years, on the 5th of July 5th. I think that's a special day, and I think that my guy 40 wouldn't mind. I don't know him personally, but my cousin, I got some people that know him, and they speak highly of him, I've never heard him doing nothing crazy, but they speak highly of him, and so I like that about when people do that, when people speak highly of other people, and it's not just one person, it's a lot of people. It's a lot of people that do, and so that you can believe what you see or what you hear at that point. When it's a lot of people speaking highly of somebody, that means that person is that person is a real good person. I think is from on the outside looking in, I think he's a great brother, because of family, friends, just the music that he puts out, that his family has put out, music that his family has put out. Can't forget to see it. Be Legit the Savage. You can't forget him, and Sugar T and his other brother, the clique, the whole clique, all because I grew up on all of this mob music. I grew up on all of this music. I grew up at the first part of a lot of these rappers' careers. I grew up on listening to their music. So from then until now, to be his age and to be able to still be relevant with today's generation, that's a feat in itself. So he deserves his flowers. He deserves every flower that you gonna give him right now. All the projects and I salute my guy. Man, I listen to the music. I still buy the music, and it's all good. But I'm glad that everybody was able to, the key people was able to sit down and talk about that situation and get it nullified. and get it nullified. I like when that type of stuff happens. No beef, no no shots fired. And literally no shots fired. Literally no shots fired. And so I liked that. That was my current event that I wanted to touch on. Being talking with OC. I'm talking with OC. This is your host OC. Hopefully, I can get more people on the show in the near future. I got a couple of calls out to people. I got a couple of texts out to people. So get them on, and I want to talk to some of these women about some of these parents about parenting. How did they do it? If they got older kids that's 27, if they got kids that's younger, how do they do it? How do they work within this system that we got today? How does that work? You know what I'm saying? How do they keep their kids' minds in the way that it's supposed to be going? So they can give somebody can learn from it. Somebody can get some tips if they got young kids. I don't have a young kid no more. My kid is 27. She's not a kid anymore. She's a woman. And so I just rely on everything that I've taught, that I've tried to teach, and I coach. It's like being a coach now. I'm a coach now. You know what I'm saying? I got that coach hat on now. So that's how it switches up and changes up. Some parents don't like to let go. And I think that's because they're not trusting in what they've taught. They're not trusting in what has gone on all of these years. Supposed to have been going on all these years. So that's why it's difficult to be out of a child's life for a significant amount of time and then jump back into their life. It's hard to do that because you don't know what hat you're supposed to be wearing. Sometimes it's good to not jump. Sometimes you're jumping in at the part to where they don't need that constant somebody over their shoulder, or that constant you need to do this, that, and the other. They don't need that, and sometimes they do. So it's difficult to gauge that when you haven't spent a significant amount of time with your kids. So with that being said, I appreciate everybody that makes things go in my life. I appreciate all my aunts for calling me, for checking up on me. I appreciate all of my aunts, man. All of my aunts. My aunts on my dad's side, and my aunt on my mother's side, checking up on me when I was down and out, health wise. I want to appreciate a lot of people that helped me through that. That helped me through that time and getting to the hospital and all of that type of stuff. And one of my good friends helped me through that. I'm not gonna sit here and blab out the name, but I'm gonna sit here and say I really appreciate that. I really appreciate people checking on me. I really appreciate all my friends checking on me, my people that is real friendly to me checking on me. I appreciate that, and because we all need to have people to check on us. We all need people to know we got people in our life like that. That makes life worth living. Not to say that I go to that spot, but that's what makes life worth living. I can't see myself not having nobody. I got somebody I can call and talk to, and I appreciate my sisters, my two sisters that I got, my father, and I really appreciate them for stepping up and really showing me that they do care about their brother. They do care about their brother, and so that's something that's great for me. And let me see what we got going on here. We're supposed to I don't know, is it this one? Yeah, no one has said anything in the chat, so it's cool. But yeah, I have to get out of here. This is Talking with OC. I'm your host, OC. If you got any comments or anything you want to, if you want to go and listen to the podcast, it's on TalkingWithOC podcast.com. That's TalkingWithOC podcast.com. Oh yeah, and I can't end the show without talking about Your Ham Right podcast brothers from Florida. It's your Ham Right podcast. You got to go to YouTube to see it. I'm impressed by these brothers. Every time I see their show, they got something new, something exciting, graphic wise. They got something for you. They're family oriented, a lot like myself. And yeah, so your Ham Right podcast. This is OC, Talking with OC. I'm your host, OC, and I'm gonna get out of here. Peace.